Go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Huddle. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. This is Stan Anderson, who is standing in today for our two illustrious hosts, Sorrel Catan and Giovanni Gonzalez. I'm so glad to welcome you all here today and to welcome our Facebook family who are out there in the cyber world. So glad to have you on also, Facebook family. We have a way that we normally start our daily huddle here today, and I'm not in any capacity as great at doing it as our mastermind Sorrel and mastermind Giovanni Gonzalez, but there's a little bit I know, and I'm going to start with our brother Chase Steele Gray, and ask him, Chase, if you will unmute and tell us if you're here and you're able to speak, where are you?
Grand Rising, my great brother. I am here, right here, the only place I can be in the now.
All right. Here, right here, now. The only place that we can ever be is here and now. And let me ask you something. Let me see who else I'm going to call on today. My brother Stacy Robinson there in Champaign, Illinois.
Yes, sir.
How are you, and who are you going to hug today?
How am I? I am how I say I am, right? Wow. And I am healthier than I was last week. And who am I going to hug? I am going to hug my wife today. She is finishing a big project that I'm helping her with, and we have to hit submit on that today. So afterward, I am going to hug her very tight.
Wow. Thank you, my brother Chase. I was seeing my brother Stacy. Those names kind of sounded I like to be today, but brother Stacy said that he is as he says he is. And we all are as we say that we are. Thank you so much, my brother Stacy. And let me see who else here. Let me see who else here that I can call on today. Laura, would you tell me what time it is?
The time is now. The only time there is.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Laura, from the Republic of Brooklyn via Jamaica.
Ashe.
Laura said the time is now, the only time there is. And that is so true. So welcome to the Daily Huddle, everyone, today. My name is Stan Anderson, as I mentioned again, standing in for Sorrel Catan and Giovanni Gonzalez. I just love this platform. I just love this family. And it's so great to have you all here today. I want to speak to you today and ask you a question. It's a question that all of the sages and all of those who really know a little bit about how to live this thing called life always tell us that we should ask. And that question is, what do you really want? What do you really want? That is the question that we should ask. And I have found in my experience, and it comes really from also listening to the advice and the experience of others that I consider to be far wiser than myself, that anytime that we are answering that question within the context of what I can give to life, we are really on the right path. When we say what I want from life and it's all about what you can get, that's generally not going to place us as firmly on the path to live in this thing we call life as well as we can. When it's really answered, that question is answered in the realm of what I can give or bring to life, we generally do a lot better. And I know that's a big, broad question, but the more we narrow it down, and it's supposed to be narrowed down to being very, very specific. Napoleon Hill, when he wrote the great book, Think and Grow Rich, said that he came across in his 25 years of study 6 things that we could do to turn our desire. This is about desire, to turn our desire into reality, or to bring our desire into manifestation in the real world. And he said, since he knew that so many people's minds really thought about money, he would show how we could use these 6 steps to acquire money. But Thomas Edison went on to say, and this is a man who attempted to create the incandescent light bulb, and many accounts say that it was well over 10,000 times that he, quote unquote, failed. But he said that he never failed even once. What he found was over 10,000 times something that did not work. And each time he got closer to the thing that did. And with the help of Lewis Latimer, he finally perfected the incandescent light. But he knew exactly what he wanted. These are the 6 steps that Napoleon Hill said are the 6 steps to acquiring money, and Thomas Edison went on to say that are the 6 steps that can be used to acquire anything in life. And I just removed my bookmarker, but here it is. Again, Thomas Edison wrote it like this. The late Thomas Edison, who placed his stamp of approval upon these 6 steps as being not only the steps essential for the accumulation of money, but necessary for the attainment of any definite goal. We need to know exactly what we want in life. And here are the 6 steps. Remember Napoleon Hill, and you pretty much all have read this. Remember Napoleon Hill related these to money, but they are the 6 steps that can be used to accomplish anything in life that we truly want. Step number 1. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. If it's money, or the exact thing that you desire. Know exactly what you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money, or that I want to be happy, or that I want to be successful. Be definite as to the amount, or be definite as to what happiness or successful is to you. Because there's a psychological reason for definiteness, which will be described in a subsequent chapter. I'm in the chapter on desire in Think and Grow Rich. Second step, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money or for that thing it is that you desire, because there is no such reality as something for nothing. Then third, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money or that thing that you desire. Establish a definite date. Then fourth, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. And then later on in this book, it tells you that weak plans that even not well organized still help an individual to proceed with persistence, because at that point, it's talking about how important persistence is, right? But write out a plan and carry it out, regardless of how impractical it might seem at the moment or how unready you might seem. Put it into action immediately. The plan will get better as you go along. Fourth was to create a plan. And then fifth is to write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money or whatever it is you tend to acquire. Name the time limit of its acquisition, the time by which you would like to see yourself attain it, and state what you intend to give in return for it, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate or to possess that which you desire. And here's the sixth step. Read your written statement aloud twice daily, once just before retiring at night and after arising in the morning. And listen to this point. As you read or recite, once you've said it enough times, you will remember it, and you recite it. Put it in your voice recorder. Let yourself hear yourself saying it. As you read or recite, see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of the money or the thing you desire. It is important that you follow these instructions described in the 6 steps. It is especially important that you observe and follow the instructions in the 6th step. You may complain that it is impossible for you to see yourself in possession of the thing that you already want before you actually have it. But here is where your desire, a burning desire, will come to your aid. So I'm going to ask 1 or 2 people. And I already know the answer. It's kind of rhetorical. What do you really want? Have you written it down? Have you stated what you intend to give in return for it? Have you named the time limit that you would like to actualize that thing or see it actualized within? Right? Have you put it all down on paper? Do you recite it? Do you read it and state it to yourselves over and over? Because if you have, you might know how to answer this question, or you might just have to recall it or go back to that. But I'm going to ask someone, and forgive me for picking on you. Mastermind Huddle, what do you really want? And I don't know if she's in a position to really answer right now. So,
one moment.
Yes.
I will answer. Let me get in a space where I can speak. Okay, thank you, Mastermind Stan. And for some reason, I felt you were going to call on me.
You felt it.
Thank you. What I want, God, that's a great question.
Yes.
It's peace and unity for the universe to live their life at their highest joy, inspiration, and excitement. Because it starts with each one of us when we go within, when we hear our heartbeat, and when we're out of our mind and living each day. As I say always, we are gods and goddesses the moment we open our eyes. And what we want to create is exactly going to be created because we are the universe and there's nothing outside of us. And I know for a fact when I was going through my hardest time, when I was in a physical abuse marriage in my early 20s, I'm 54 now. In my 20s, I was crying with pen and paper and asking and writing down exactly, as you say, what I want. And you need to be exact, as you say, with every word, exactly what you want. And I created my soulmate in 2008, and I'm blessed for that. And I thought it was the end of my life in my 20s, what I was going through. So I am blessed to be alive. And I never knew such a thing existed because I came from a family of love. I saw love and I thought physical abuse, domestic violence is in the movie. But to experience that, it was a horror movie. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed with every breath of life. And I learned that you can, the divine within you, whatever that higher power is to everyone, it answers when you ask. But you got to feel it. As you say, visualizes, be there, feel the air, all your senses, presence. And thank you for that reminder, Mastermind Stan. Thank you. And with that, I'm complete.
Thank you, Mastermind. Thank you so much, Mastermind Huddle. So I get from that you want to live on your highest frequency and that you want to help others do the same. Yes. That's what I get from that. And I want to ask, let me ask one other person that, and then I'm going to share with you what I want. Mastermind, well, let me see. And rather than calling on someone, who would like to be the one to tell me what it is that they want? Just unmute yourself and tell me. Well, all right, then I'm going to do this. I'm not going to put, is that you, Mastermind Stacy? Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on. Seeing what's happening in Palestine right now, and learning more about the history of that part of the world. The thing that I want more than anything else is the ability to protect oppressed people around the world.
Wow.
Especially those of us who are darker hued.
Okay. Wow. Beautiful.
Now, what am I going to sacrifice to do that? Since we're going back to, you have to determine what you want, and then you got to lay out the price. What are you willing to give? And I have to think about that.
Okay.
I thought about that answer, but I'm not sure what I can sacrifice in order to do that.
Okay.
But I am going to sit with that answer because it's something that's been on my mind for a while now.
Beautiful.
With that, I am complete.
Well, thank you, Masterminds. Thank you. We just completed reading the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz on the platform known as the Motivation Readers Mastermind Network. And it comes on just prior to this particular platform, as just about everybody on here knows. And that book has inspired me tremendously. But there was a book that I read first that got me really going. These were books that were required reading in the organization that I came from, Dudley Products, and Mr. Joel Dudley, my mentor, and before him, my mentor, Mr. S.B. Fuller, required that we do these kind of readings. Think and Grow Rich was one of them. But then another one, when I came under the tutelage of Joel Dudley Sr., was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey told us that we need to create a personal mission statement, that we need to decide exactly what we want and to live our life on purpose, create a personal mission statement. I read that before, I don't remember what date it was, but it wasn't until I read the next book that we're about to read on our morning platform at the Motivation Readers Mastermind Network, Think Like a Winner by Dr. Walter Doyle Staples, that I actually wrote a purpose or a mission statement. And I want to share that with you now. And in a way, I wrote it to try to pump myself up. So you'll hear some language on here, and I'm not trying to be egotistical, but it's the way I wanted to charge myself up also and to believe this. I started it out with this, and this is the actual one I'm holding in my hand. This was in 1994, September 19th. A strong sense of purpose is essential to all change and meaningful improvement. That actually comes from the book, Think Like a Winner by Dr. Walter Doyle Staples. That's the quote that's actually his words. A strong sense of purpose is essential to all change and meaningful improvement. Then here's my statement. My purpose in life is to empower millions of people throughout the world to achieve greater spiritual, mental, emotional, and financial growth, more success. And I will fulfill my purpose by developing and employing the gifts and skills my Father Jehovah has blessed me with. My powerfully charismatic, like I said, I'm pumping myself up now, right? My powerfully charismatic and persuasive speaking, writing, and teaching talents. My business, sales, marketing, and communication skills, and my imaginative and effective creation and use of audio and video productions. And then a couple of years ago, I added, and the creative use of social media. I will from this day forward live as a wholesome, inspiring expression of life, committed to the edification of mankind. That was a big, lofty goal, and many times I was really, really far off from it, and I still got a long way to go. But I can honestly say that even with all the transitions that I've had and the things that I've gone through, I've still always reminded myself that that's what I really want. And there was a day and time when I was in another time and place that I was very depressed, but I wrote my first poem. And I want to recite a group of poems for you now, and this is what I want to do. The first one is called Times and Places. Life is a series of times and places, of breathtaking advances and bitter retreats, of towering mountains, deep, dark valleys, victories, stalemates, and defeats. Life is a journey we all must make. even if we choose to stay home. Some would set goals, reach them and stop, and few will continue to forge on. But we all have appointments that we should keep. Don't we miss some, make some? Have we overslept? But life is the total of our hits and our misses, of our sure things, our long shots and doubts. And we should step boldly to the plate, take our best swings, and defy the fear that we might strike out. Because the clocks will keep ticking, the earth will keep turning, and the rivers will continue to flow. But our lives are just a series of times and places, and we all should choose some place to go. Don't spend your time dreaming or reminiscing, because there are places to go that you'll surely be missing. Don't cling to this earth because you're afraid to fly, but spread out your wings and give life a try. And should you start getting weary when the journey gets long, reach into your mind and compose you a song, and sing it wholeheartedly as you travel on, or stop and rest. Just don't rest too long. No, don't quit your journey once you begin, but continue your steps to the very end, for you will be getting closer. Yes, you soon will be near it, near that horizon of hope that will inspire your spirit. Ignore the expressions on envious and doubtful faces, and think only on the days when you'll see smiles and embraces. And should you reach your destination and find that you're not pleased with it, just rejoice and thank God that you made the trip. Because there's so many others who don't even try. Chances are the place they were born is the place they will die. Don't you ever think the journey you've made was a waste. Just try another time and another place. So I said, I want to share that. That's what life gave me to give. And I'm going to share that in the context of living according to my desire, what I really want, my mission statement. Then I wrote another poem later on. And I wrote this for a ministry that I'm well connected to, my mother's church and her two pastors in Brooklyn, the Gospel House Ministries. And they have a service every year called the Harvest Service. And I wrote this for their harvest service. Lord of the harvest. We must clear the land, till the soil, remove the rocks and weeds, make our furrows straight and deep, then plant the proper seeds. With knowledge and with diligence, we must give to toil and sow, but not forget that though we labor, it's the Lord who makes things grow. With pick and shovel and great machines, we make our fields look like fabric with stitch and seams. And though sweat pours heavily from our brow and the hot sun on our head, surely we must put in the work, because faith without works is dead. Oh, how pleasurable is leisure. But there's joy in work too, when we've done the things that we know we should do. And when in our doing, we've done our best, the Lord of the harvest will do the rest. The Lord of the harvest will do the rest. And then there was a time when I was kind of forgetting what I thought was my purpose in life and what I really want. And it was that COVID-19, the height of it in 2020. I got really sick, and so did my wife. And one of those days, this poem came to my mind based on my experience. I walked into my backyard and looked up at the sky, thought of man's sad plight, and I started to cry. Thought of all the suffering, wars, hate, and pain. And to make matters worse, it started to rain. The faces of 6 friends flashed on my mental screen. They died suddenly from COVID-19. Or was it 5G? Who knows? Someone knows, but they keep lying to me and to us all. and more did the raindrops fall. And the clouds got denser, and it got harder to see the trees that were budding, the grass at my feet, the small yellow flower pushing through the cement, the maple, the pine, and the various scents, birds chirping and bathing and dancing in trees, sipping the drops as they fell from the leaves. Then a dark cloud split, and the bright sun shone through, and out of the darkness came turquoise and blue. Then I had another one I was thinking about, because sometimes we don't act like we should. We don't act when we should. And I'm going to conclude with this one. No more holding back. I went down to the river. Going to get in the water today. But I just sat on the banks and I watched others play. They were backstroking and floating, and I wanted to get in. Surely I'll do it next summer after I learn to swim. I love to travel. I love to travel the world. I'd love to travel the world. I buy those great magazines. I love the photos of Bali, the Serengeti, and the Philippines. I almost booked a flight to Tahiti, but just 3 years ago. But my company downsized, and the work got too slow. I've been wanting to go back to school to get my degree. They've got interesting courses, and a few of them are free. I called a continuing ed counselor, and when we got off the line, I thought of all the reasons I just don't have the time. I want to start my own business. I know I'd be a success. I've studied the market and even run a few tests. Then the economy dipped, and I sort of got off track. I've got so much potential, but I keep holding back. I said that was going to be the final one last one, because I think this is so appropriate. Most of what holds us back is fear. One of the times, or some of the reasons why we have fear, is because we haven't decided exactly what we want. Fear. I haunt the weak. I taunt the strong. Make the good seem short, but the bad seem long. I make look far what's really near, and all who know me call me fear. I've caused to fall empires great. I brought the rich to low estate. I blinded minds once sharp and clear. Both young and old know the name of fear. Much power to me, the unwise give. They make me noun and adjective in sentences where I stealthily walk, influencing all of their self-talk. Men try to front, but just to the rear, I stand, the demon men call fear. Oh, but if folk only knew I have no real power, I'd be dethroned this very hour. For the only thing I can really do is make folk doubt what they should hold true. Yet nearly every child of the Most High God, you who the very universe doth revere, bow down as servants and kneel at the feet of me, the king called fear. But nobody in this Daily Huddle family is going to bow down to fear anymore. We don't do it now. Nobody on the MasterMind family is going to bow down to fear. I want to thank you all, Masterminds, for being here today, all the Daily Huddle family, for being here today. And Chase, my beautiful brother, if you are there, can you close us out with how we close out every day on the Daily Huddle, if you don't mind?
Indeed. It would be my pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. It was a pleasure to be with you, my brother. Always some great knowledge. Man, it is powerful. So powerful. We always like to close out with our favorite tenets. First of all, to love, love, love more than you have been. It'll do you no harm. Stress less, of course, because that is what's going to take you to a place of newness and fluidity. Like to eat mostly plant-based. Give it a shot if you've never tried it before. Why not? That'll do you no harm as well. Move the body so that you can be more fluid, make better decisions, and give the body a place to just have an open cavern. As well, laugh out loud more than you have before, because it is so, so very, very important. Also, stress less. Stressing less will definitely create a brand new person. I guarantee it. And lastly, sleep. Sleep more than the regular 4 or 5 hours. Push it up to 7 or 8 or 9 if you can. Sleep like a baby, as they say. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what will. Thank you all for being here. It's a pleasure.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mastermind Chase. Thank you all, Daily Huddle family.
Stan, just a quick question, man. I know we didn't get time for questions, but is it published anywhere?
Not officially, but they have been recited and published. They are.